thousands and thousands of fans from all over the South Bay, Santa Monica, Laguna Beach. They've come from as far as San Diego. Our semifinal, Scott Ayakatubby and Steve Timmons against St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos, the second meeting in this tournament. Ayakatubby and Timmons won the earlier meeting. Prize money, $75,000 is the total. It breaks down this way, split Manhattan.
This is the big one. A lot of friends are here, a little bit of family, and all the players love participating in this tournament.
Steve Timmons set to put the ball in play. He's never won a tournament, never won an Open. He finished third last year. He's guaranteed third today. And as you can see, 32 years old, he has played wonderfully in this tournament. He has shocked everybody who thought he was just an indoor player, but he has got beach credentials now. Here we go. It is very, very hot outside, by the way. We'll give you the weather when we can as Stoklos bombs it through. Timmons is wearing socks. That's how hot it is. And Smith and Stoklos get a side out or possession. This is 1 game to 15. Winner goes on to play Karch and Kent Steffes, the team that won the winner's bracket.
I talked to Steve Timmons last night, and I said, Steve, I'm surprised at how well you're doing. I didn't think that you could have this big an impact after such a few number of years out on the beach. There you see St. John Smith. Everybody knows who he is, 6'3", a little over 200 pounds.
Ayakatubby right to Smith. Could be the first point of this one. Smith is tight, and Timmons is up with the big red arm. Ayakatubby poke. Oh, big drill, and Stoklos ricochets into the crowd.
Pretty good set in the rally by Steve Timmons. And again, I get back to the point that Steve's only been out on the beach for a couple of years and really having an impact. His partner, Scott Ayakatubby, 6'4", slightly built, 180 pounds, 26 years old, an excellent jump server.
All his wins with Brent Frohoff. If you missed it, Hovland and Frohoff finished out of the money in 5th place, and Scott Ayakatubby to serve. Working on Stoklos. And Stoklos drills one into the crowd. Randy Stoklos had his career best hit in the previous match. He hit a ball at about the 2-foot line. It bounced and came back over the net. It was very impressive and went out of bounds near the El Camino Real signs.
Well, I was walking down the stairs about a quarter of a mile from the tournament site, and the whole place just exploded.
His first pro win for Randy right here at Manhattan Beach, 1981 with Jim Menges.
That's trouble. Tight set.
Double jam. Smith, and pounds it down the line. So that's a point. 1-0.
He hit it first. He hit it first. Yeah, it was over. Then
Jim Leonard saying he hit it first, so not 4 contacts. St. John and Randy knocked into the loser's bracket yesterday by Timmons and Akitobi. Timmons and Akitobi down 14-8, rallied to win 17-15. And was this place shaking and a rocking and a rolling? The jump serving of Akitobi brought him back.
Yeah, that's exactly what Steve Timmons said. He said, we hit some serves, and we continued to side out, and St. John and Randy never really had a chance to win the game, and I looked up, and it was 14-13. We were right back in it.
0 serving 1. And off Ayakatubby. You could hear the big thump. That was the net cord going. And the side out to Smith Stoklos, the winningest team of all time. Let's watch.
Timmons and Akitobi seem to prefer to go to Randy Stoklos with their jump serves, hard cross court. That's where Randy wants to go. Hard cross court into the angle. Akitubby's got to dig that ball.
Smith to serve. Timmons chopping inside. Nicely done. Scott Ayakatubby and Steve Timmons, both excellent setters, as are Smith and Stoklos.
Well, the key here, though, is they've got to pass the ball well. If they pass well, the set will be automatic, and then they can communicate in their side-out game, as you heard Scott Ayakatubby yell angle.
5th or better in the last 8. Here he comes. Stoklos, he is hitting as well and as hard as he has all year. His 4th kill. And Big Randy will go back to serve.
Offensively with so much talent, and now just letting it come through. 6 wins, 1 4th, and a 5th.
Stoklos. Ayakatubby out of bounds. Another point for Smith Stoklos.
Cannot have unforced errors against Smith and Stoklos. Timmons got to block a lot of balls. Akitoby's got to serve a number of aces if they hope to repeat their victory earlier in the tournament.
Back his block, he chicken wings it up and off and out of bounds. So the chicken wing proving effective for Ayakatubby.
Well, when you get stuffed and the balls coming back towards you, you just got to keep flapping everything you can to protect yourself. Stoklos reaching out, and Ayakatubby there with the flipper getting it up there.
0 serving 2, Timmons. And cross court. How many balls do you think Timmons has to block in this one to pull the upset?
5 stuff blocks.
Okay.
For points in order for them to win against Smith and Stoklos. St. John Smith bothered by a very sore hand all summer long, still able to chop this one inside the block and past the defense. He's got a cyst in his wrist and finally been diagnosed properly and getting some treatment, and the swelling coming out of that thing, but very, very ugly all season long.
So Smith straightening out the line. And you can see the little wrist pad he has there. And Timmons gently taps it down the line. So Scott Ayakatubby going to go back to serve. Ayakatubby been a professional for 7 years. We've got a lot of comments about his trunks since he's been playing in the finals. They're made by Primitive Prints. They're very, very colorful. So he's been with 5 different partners, but
if you don't get comments on those trunks,
yeah.
You have to go out there nude to look a little, to stand out a little more than Scott Ayakatubby.
He said those are the designer models, and Primitive Prints coming out with a big line of stuff featuring the ACK. Stoklos to serve. 2-0 is the score.
He's a bohemian. Primitive Prints, they go together with the ACK.
Timmons gently down the line again. Does it worry you that Timmons is not hitting?
Well, right now he's
shooting well.
I didn't like the way he warmed up. It looked a little stiff, maybe a little bit tired after 3 days of competition, although they did have a very good rest and have only played 1 match earlier today. But I think he tunes into Ayakatubby's call extremely well, and he's going to chop around the block until he sees a clear opening.
And 1.
Blocked.
There's number 1. Timmons has got to have 3 or 4 more for them to have a chance. And Chris, maybe he's chopping the ball around and not really exerting himself offensively so that he can really put out right here, jumping big into the cross court. And all those years in the Olympic team have taught Steve Timmons how to get his hands over the net.
Wearing his trademark diamond earring in his left.
Come on!
And inside goes.
That's the one, excuse me, Chris, that Scott Ayakatubby has got to get to. The ball set very close to the net. St. John trying to do everything he can just to avoid Timmons, and Ayakatubby's got to get the ball in the angle.
St. John Smith to serve. He's wearing the purple headband today in the multicolored trunks. There's Timmons. No headband today. His hair says it all. 2-0 Smith Stoklos.
Come on, you got it.
Nice dig.
Right there, and nobody. Come on!
St. John just didn't get the kind of set he likes, Paul.
I'm surprised that Randy Stoklos didn't set that ball with his hands. It appeared that he had the time. Randy's so good setting the ball overhand and kind of shanked that one 6-7 feet off the net, and St. John cut the shot into the net.
Good shot of Scott Ayakatubby, still only 26, having an excellent year.
Come on!
Down the line, Smith goes. Another kill. Two to 1 is our score. Just the start of semifinal action here on Prime Network. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland. The beach is packed. It's open, and everybody showed up at the same time as Ayakatubby will scoop it in. Smith and Stoklos looking for another point. Stoklos. Oh, that's the shot. And Stoklos pounds it straight down for a kill and a point. 3-1 now.
Watch Randy Stoklos turn his arm inside out. I thought this set was getting him in trouble, but look at this. Just straight down snapper.
80 teams started out in this tournament. We're down to 3. Akitobi on the net. Goodbye.
Great set out of the net by Steve Timmons. Akitobi and Timmons are not receiving serve very well early. Timbo gets down early and then gets the ball up in the air for Akitobi. No block that time from Smith and Stoklos.
Good side, bad side today. Timmons and Akitobi on the bad side at the moment. Smith and Stoklos on the good side. As that jump serve travels long. So St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos trying to come back through the losers bracket. It's not the customary way they do it, but it is a way. Smith.
Point.
Blocked. Point.
Right now, Randy Stoklos winning the blocking battle against Ayakatubby and Timmons.
4-1 is our score. Back to Manhattan Beach after this. Some of the little people and attired very nattily. And speaking of attire, the Nike foot digs catching on. The referees and the linesmen are wearing them now. It was hot outside for a little while, but keeping the sand out, walking over and yelling at the players, that takes some energy, and you don't want to get a hot foot.
But when you get the blood pressure going, you got Steve Timmons, Randy Stoklos, St. John Smith, Scott Akitobi yelling. You gotta have your foot dig so you can scramble off the stand in a hurry.
Most of the points being scored on the good side. 7 out of 10 so far. And the key is get a couple, get 3 on the bad side as Timmons puts it in play. No jump serving from the bad side, at least for Timmons. And down the line. Good hit by St. John Smith.
Timmons and Akitobi have to make a bit of a move on the bad side. The next side change count will be very, very important. Hitting error by Steve Timmons to go to the 6-4 side change. A big mistake early going.
Smith, 34 years old. He turned May 7th. Timmons gloving it well, and Akitobi drills it through.
They're really working Scott Akitobi down his sideline. St. John Smith usually serves the jumper cross court. He's working Akitobi. Randy Stoklos already has an ace cross court against Akitobi. Steve Timmons, again, a lot of people are surprised by how well he's able to set the ball out here on the beach, but he's got some big hands and has worked hard on his technique and become very, very good.
Timmons to serve, his team trailing by 2.
Come on, help me out. Nobody. Come on.
Got it. Of course, if you're watching television like we are, that was Akitobi serving, not Timmons. But still, it was a point.
Mistake those shorts. I'll tell you, if you miss a pass just a little and create an opportunity, this is what's going to happen. The jump serve of Scott Akitobi in the deep middle, Smith and Stoklos not able to control.
You can almost call that a bonus point. Point received on the bad side. Oh, Timmons!
Oh! Straight down. That one almost hit Steve Timmons on the foot. And look at Randy Stoklos. Woo! Nobody has blocked like this. Watch this block. Talk about straight. Oh, down.
There's a break in the action. We'll take a short timeout. It's on top. Akitobi. And Smith is there. Oh, it goes right back over and right back over. And Smith smartly puts it away.
Horrible mistake. Bad enough by I'm getting to that. Bad enough by St. John Smith digging the ball back over. Akitobi should have poked it into the wide open court. Instead, he passes the free ball right back to Smith and Stoklos. Big mistake at 7-6.
Stoklos in jump serve posture. He'll come right at you. His team ahead by 1. And he wails it wide. The first thing to go when you're tired, and Smith and Stoklos should be, they're coming out of the quarterfinal losers bracket.
But the 3-day format helps them. They did not have to play that load of matches on the second day of the tournament. They got a little extra rest. There you see Timmons and Akitobi with 7 errors, 3 for Smith and Stoklos. Tight set again.
And Timmons trying to Kong Smith. He could not.
St. John deals with the tight set against the big blockers probably better than any other hitter out here. You just don't see him get stuffed very often. He pokes the ball into the block, uses the block, and saves his team time and again.
Smith also has a very underrated jump serve. It's not powerful, but he always tries to get it right down the middle where there's a communication error. And that time, he hits his partner, Randy Stoklos, in the head with it. So Akitobi, Scott Ayakatubby, spelled A-Y-A-K-A-T-U-B-B-Y. That's why he was known as Akin Fro for a while. And he has 11. Ayakatubby with a dig. Seems to be a lot of consensus among the players. If you're going to jump serve Smith and Stoklos, jump serve at Randy. He has a little more trouble than St. John receiving. There's Big Randy. Turned into a pretty reliable passer, however. But that jump serve swirling is tough off the bat of Ayakatubby.
Yeah,
just about anybody.
Nobody's reliable against Ayakatubby. Really moves the ball around well.
And he snaps it off Stoklos. I think there was a lot of conjecture early, Paul, that Ayakatubby and Timmons would not be together for long. Everybody thought Ayakatubby might go with Frohoff, Timmons might go with Johnson. It didn't happen.
Well, and I don't think it will in the future. I think Scott Ayakatubby likes playing with Big Red just fine. It's a lot of fun, a great competitor, and they complement one another well.
7-6, Smith Stoklos have a 1-point lead. And Timmons weakly jumping into the net. Trying to patty cake it from the bad side. The wind going with you, so you have to be very, very careful.
Steve not trying to hit this jump serve hard, just trying to move it on St. John Smith short.
Smith to serve. And gently into the corner, Scott Ayakatubby with a great shot. You don't see him use that one very often, the deep corner, cross-court corner.
Ayakatubby now with 13 kills, and Timmons, after he bump sets the ball, doing a good job of calling the open area, line.
Having a big match, Ayakatubby. 1 or 2 more points on this side, and Ayakatubby and Timmons will be sitting pretty. Inside goes Stoklos. So Randy Stoklos hitting hard.
Timmons wanted that one. Trying to take away Randy's cross court. Scott Ayakatubby moves over and digs the line. You jump serve Randy deep. He doesn't have the same rhythm coming in offensively. Takes away some of his shots.
Trouble. Shank pass. That's a point. Great serve by Randy Stoklos. Count that as an ace.
2 aces against Scott Ayakatubby now. Both hard cross court from Randy Stoklos.
You're right, Paul. He's working his left hand here.
Serving him to the outside again and again. Unlike St. John, Randy Stoklos hits this as hard as he can, picks his spot, and just rips it.
Good little poke. Timmons deadened it off a nice set by Ayakatubby. Good scramble play.
That's a big side out. The ace, very disheartening for Scott Ayakatubby, and then Steve Timmons comes back with a bad pass. They escape with a side out.
Last year ranked 43rd at the start. Remember, he got a 3rd at the USA Championship, so he's gone 3rd, 5th, and now today he at least has another 3rd, so he has become one of the top players on the tour in just over a year.
Tight set.
Oh, the big jam, and the Kong attack. Timmons over Stoklos that time.
Randy Stoklos used to own this territory, but now he's got some competition.
So the first confrontation to Timmons, and it's a 1-point lead when we come back. Sunderland. Next week, we're moving on to Michigan. Grand Haven, Michigan, where all the pros will pack their bags and head on out. And it should be a good time. The Miller Lite Grand Haven Open. Check your local listings for dates and times. Just part of the deeply packed crowd here at Manhattan Beach, and they are 50 deep at the thickest point, as Randy Stoklos and St. John Smith trying to get back to the final. Paul, trivia question for you right here. Can you answer it? Smith and Stoklos win the tournament. They will become only the 2nd team ever to come from 9th place losers bracket to win Manhattan. The first was?
Do you have something to do with this answer?
Right there. Chris Marlowe, Steve Obradovich, 1976. That team, I tell you, was in shape.
That's what I call a setup.
10 games on Sunday. I remember it well. 25 bottles of Gatorade. They were Mike Terry and Bob Jackson. Prize money was not so high, if you're wondering. A volleyball and a pair of sweats. That was the year before money came into beach volleyball.
Right back to serve.
I saw Steve Obradovich. We were talking about that. He said, yeah, I hope Smith and Stoklos don't win, so no one beats our record. Of course, I'm a little more charitable. I don't mind if they win and tie a record.
Oh,
Right back over the net. And Stoklos going to set his pal Smith. And down it goes. And what we mean in the quarterfinal winners bracket, if you lose, you go into 9th place automatically. Then you have to work your way back up, and you have to play a number of games. We'll show you that tournament trail a little later, or when we can, of how many games Smith and Stoklos will have to play to get back to the final. It's much more difficult.
You lose in the quarters, and you've just earned yourself the right to play a lot of volleyball for days and days. And St. John and Randy clearly good enough to, and in good enough condition to still come back and win this event.
Probably the only team in the tournament that could, in my opinion, as Ayakatubby cuts inside. They have the experience, they have the shape, they have the side-out game, and they have the determination they want to win. A lot of teams have 2 or 3 of those parts, but not all of them. But Smith and Stoklos still have to win this game and then get by Karai and Stefis in 2 games. So the road is long and winding. 8-7 is our score. Smith and Stoklos now on the bad side. So Akitobi and Timmons, if they hope to win this one, they really have to make some hay now.
Well, but they've been doing a pretty good job on the bad side. You'd expect Smith and Stoklos with their good ball control to score more from the bad side. But right now, Akitobi and Timmons have 4 from the bad side as opposed to only 2 for Smith and Stoklos.
Stokey's serve bites the net. And so Steve Timmons, will he crank it up? Now, Timmons has been getting a lot of work. I saw him in the players' tent yesterday, and he looked okay, but his face was very red. His face was flushed, and he was a little sunburned, so he's going to save his strength for blocking. Tough to jump serve and block. Uh-oh, right to Timmons, who beans it. So a setting mistake.
So that's a shank on the bump set, and Timbo plays the crowd, which he is probably as good at as anybody else out here.
He's the best at that.
Not that bad a pass, and St. John just shanks this one, and Steve Timmons says, "Shank you very much."
We have said on a couple broadcasts, Karch Karai is the most well-known, if you say Karch Karai's name, he is the most well-known volleyball player in the world, as Stoklos puts it down. But Steve Timmons, I think, is the most recognizable volleyball player in the world. Who could forget that handsome face?
You show that red top,
yes,
and everybody goes, yeah, I know that guy. I've been living in a cave for the last 9 years, but I still recognize that guy.
The big guy with the red hair and the earring. I know who you mean. And Akitobi chopping.
Excellent call by Steve Timmons. Talking angle, and Randy Stoklos talking to his partner, St. John Smith, about something defensively.
Coming up at halftime, lots of stuff. Interview with our semifinal winners, an all-star dream team lineup of women. Timmons with the mailbag, a visit with St. John Smith, and Sunday's stuff. And of course, Karai and Stefis. Just missing that jump serve ace was Ayakatubby. So Karai and Stefis, the odds-on favorites to win this tournament. They're second in a row. And Smith, Stoklos, Ayakatubby, Timmons trying to get there. Oh, drills it. That was Timmons. Smith made a pretty good dig, but it went out of bounds.
One of the first balls that Steve Timmons has really unloaded on off the set of Scott Ayakatubby. Even in slow motion, this is coming right at you. And St. John in good position. Looked like a field goal against Stoklos.
Right down the pipe. Ayakatubby has it to take the lead. And Stoklos with a great play. Stoklos was there, and he just would not let Ayakatubby shove it up and in.
I'll tell you, and Steve Timmons, just now getting up off of all fours, knows that he made a big, big mistake here. Ending up at the joust. And Stoklos going to beat Ayakatubby most times in that particular play.
St. John in skyball posture. It's going up, and it does. 8-8. Timmons so big, so quick.
Playing with great intelligence. He looks like he's been out on the beach for 15 years.
Steve Timmons was a basketball player originally, 9 kills and 4 blocks. He played at Orange Coast College, the state JC Player of the Year, went to USC on a volleyball scholarship, and was going to play some basketball too, but decided he liked volleyball better. So he didn't spend his days, months, and years on the beach. As did Smith and Stoklos. St. John won his first tournament way back in 1977.
Right back to serve. On the board.
Veteran of UCLA, as is Randy Stoklos. Stoklos went to UCLA for a year. And Timmons chopping down the line. You had a chance to talk to Timmons about coming back to the USA team. What did he say?
He said he wants to play.
Yep.
He sounded very positive about it, and when I was talking to him, he looked right into the camera and he says, Karchi, you come too. You do it one more time. Let's go for 3 gold medals in a row.
There's a break in the action. We'll take a short timeout.
Okay, Randy.
Bingo!
Who said Scott Ayakatubby and Steve Timmons couldn't play defense as they take their first lead of the match? You did. I did. Everybody says these guys can't play defense, but they're playing exceptionally well at the defensive end and setting each other out of transition.
Ayakatubby is feared on the beach. Everybody thinks he has the best jump serve. Smith. Ack got it. Looked like Timmons touched it, did he not? No, it's a point! Ayakatubby, the minister of defense.
How many digs now for Scott Ayakatubby? 11. This is a great defensive series for Scott Ayakatubby, now up by 2. Timmons working hard to get off, using those big paws to set this ball, and then Scott Ayakatubby slicing and dicing against St. John Smith.
There are no sand timeouts. Only 2 timeouts per team per game. Ayakatubby, great serve. Smith chasing. Oh, he's got it! And now Stoklos at the net against Ayakatubby. Ack. Bingo again.
Great save by Smith and Stoklos just to keep this ball in play. They put the pressure on Scott Ayakatubby, and he comes right back. And talking about pressure, again, Ayakatubby's jump serve. Stoklos taking his time, gives Ayakatubby a free ball, now comes up getting in blocking posture. And then the good call, the cut. You see Smith going right, the ball going left. Perfect execution on the scoring play.
And the former Jeannie Buss, now Jeannie Timmons, the director of Forum Tennis and Volleyball, and what a lovely person she is. Watching her husband, she said she gets very, very nervous when he plays, but she has to be feeling good right now. She did go to Italy with Steve Timmons, obviously, as husband and wife. And she has got a big smile on her face. 3 straight points, Paul. And we're going to have a yellow card warning and a timeout to Smith Stoklos. Have control 13-8, but don't count Smith and Stoklos out. They have made comebacks before.
They've been in this position many, many times. What they want to do right now is just get back together, serve an ace if they can, and they're looking towards and thinking about right now a 13-12 side change.
Interestingly, Ayakatubby not jump serving out of that timeout, so perhaps he heard you, Paul. Stoklos will jump serve and try to rack up some points. 7 unanswered points by Ayakatubby Timmons. Jim Leonard getting a little flack from Smith Stoklos. It's not rugged yet, as Stoklos will serve. Timmons, Smith has it. This should be a point. And it is. So point number 1 on the comeback trail for Smith Stoklos.
A lot of defensive players like St. John Smith waiting for the setter's call. He's playing an I formation. Here's the line call, runs behind and covers, and then does not overreact, does not try to hit hard against Timmons, just finds the sand.
You like that strategy, don't you? The I formation, listen for the call.
I think the players are getting so sophisticated, and they're fast enough that they can wait for the setter's call and then break on that.
Good call, bad execution. Smith, second straight point. No, not yet. Ack. Blocked. It did not come over. Second point for Smith Stoklos. And the Smith Stoklos fans getting into it. There are a lot of them here.
Smith and Stoklos know they are not playing well, but they're getting a little help right here. Ayakatubby tries to chop down the line, this ball into the top of the tape. You might look for a timeout from Ayakatubby and Timmons if they give up another one.
I agree. You got to take it. Ack and Timmons have 2 timeouts remaining, if you're wondering.
Line.
Big hit. Scott Ayakatubby drills one down the line.
Very important side out. Ayakatubby and Timmons are thinking about getting to 14 because that ensures, at worst, the 14-11 side change. They can come over to the good side and really serve hard.
Interestingly, Ayakatubby, who blocked a lot with Frohoff, never blocks with Timmons. They want Timmons' big paws up at the net. He has huge hands, Timmons does.
Well, I think the strategy's working out beautifully. Akitobi with 14 digs. Timmons blocking the ball well.
That's trouble. Jam. Oh, great play by Stoklos. So Stoklos gets Timmons back. The second confrontation. We are tied at 1 Kong apiece.
Early on, it was Timmons over Stoklos. I think Randy was thinking about that one and just pushing hard. Two of the biggest and strongest and best. This time to Stokey.
So 1-1 on the confrontation. Stoklos putting up some numbers, but he needs a block right here.
Smith going away from the jump serve.
Got to be fatiguing. Akitobi hits hard. Boy, Ayakatubby hits the ball a lot better off the net than I thought he could. That was about 10 feet back over his head.
But Ayakatubby is not a little guy.
No.
6'4.5", 6'5", hits with good extension, 25 kills now. Just how far back is Scott Ayakatubby here? 6'7" feet, and he rips this ball over a late Randy Stoklos.
Akatak loves the cross court. Let's see where he'll go. 13-10. That's trouble. And Timmons pokes it over Stoklos' point.
That's the one they needed from the bad side. Can you ever remember this many ball control mistakes from Smith and Stoklos?
Overset from Stoklos.
And we had one earlier from St. John Smith. And then Steve Timmons knows that Smith and Stoklos are bunched up under the net and just a left-handed pokey.
Ayakatubby serving first, game point. Stoklos off Timmons, saving.
Might have been a field goal. That ball set way inside, and Randy Stoklos really having to work hard to get to it and rips the ball off Steve Timmons.
20 kills for Stoklos as they chatted over. Smith and Stoklos trying to come back. They lost early yesterday. It's been a long gruel for them.
And really a role reversal of the first meeting between these two teams in the quarterfinals. Then it was Smith and Stoklos who had the huge lead.
14-8. Good serve. And Timmons chops right down the pipe. So you just get the feeling that Timmons and Akitobi are charmed in this game. Things can change around as we get set for game point number 2, and the Smith-Stoklos fans chanting side out. Here we go, number 2.
Going to Stoklos.
Trying to stop him. No, Ak with it.